You're not bad at talking to strangers. You never were. But somewhere along the way, you picked up this idea that good conversations start with the perfect opening line. And that's exactly why you pull out your phone instead of opening your mouth. The problem was never shyness. It was pressure. And today, I'm going to show you how to kill it. Think about the last time you were at a party, a coffee shop, or a networking event. You spotted someone you wanted to talk to, and instead of walking over, you ran through openers in your head. No, that's weird. No, that's boring. No, that's too random. 3 seconds of hesitation turned into 30, and then your phone came out. That wasn't a personality flaw, that was a rehearsal trap, and a 2018 Stanford study proved something interesting. It doesn't even work. Here's what most people miss. The thing that makes conversations awkward isn't the conversation. It's the pressure you've attached to it before it starts. The moment you treat a conversation like a test, will they like me? Will I say something stupid? Will this go anywhere? You've already lost, because that pressure changes everything. Your body language, your timing, the energy you walk in with. People don't feel your words, they feel your state. And a state built on pressure produces exactly the outcome you were afraid of. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Nobody is bad at conversation, but a lot of people are bad at the moment before conversation, that 2-second window where you decide whether to say something or not. And in that window, most people do the same thing. They try to think of something good to say, something interesting, something that won't sound stupid. And that search, that frantic internal audition, is exactly what produces the awkwardness they were trying to avoid. Stanford researchers studying social initiation found that the quality of an opening line had almost zero effect on how the conversation was rated. What mattered instead was the confidence of delivery and the absence of visible self-monitoring. It's never what you say, it's whether you seem okay saying it. So here's the shift. Stop trying to start good conversations. Start trying to start conversations. The goal in the first 10 seconds is not to impress. It's to create an opening, a small, low-pressure moment where the other person can respond. That's it. Everything else happens after. And once you understand that, the whole thing gets simpler because you're not performing anymore. You're just opening a door. There are 4 specific things that make that door easy to open and easier to walk through. Let's get into them. Skill 1, observe before you speak. Generic openers are social camouflage. They hide you instead of introducing you. How's your night going? Is not a conversation starter. It's a social reflex, and people respond to it the same way, on autopilot, because it could have come from anyone, which means it came from no one. The move that changes this is simple. Before you speak, look. Not in a way that's obvious or strange. Just a quick 2-second read. What is this person doing? What are they wearing? What's the context you're both in? There's always something specific in the environment you can reference, always, and specific beats generic every time, because specific signals one thing: I actually noticed you. Not the version of you that could be anyone, you. UCLA researchers studying conversation initiation found that context-specific openers generated significantly longer conversations and higher likability ratings than generic ones, even when the generic openers were rated as more clever, because people don't want clever, they want to feel seen. Picture this, you're at a networking event, everyone's doing the same loop. So what do? How do you know the host? You walk up to someone staring at the food table, you don't have a great line, so you just say, hey, sorry, random question, but is any of this actually good? They laugh, they point at something, and now you're talking. Not because that was smooth, but because it was real. Observation gave you the opening, not wit. Skill 2, make the first sentence about them, not you. Most people, without realizing it, start conversations from their own perspective. I love this place. I've been standing here for 20 minutes. I don't know anyone here either. All of these put you at the center. And a conversation where you're at the center before it even starts is a conversation the other person has no reason to enter. The shift is small, but the effect is enormous. Lead with something that invites them in, not a compliment. Compliments create pressure. Instead, make an observation that lands in their world. You're at a coffee shop. The person next to you has a book you've been meaning to read for months. Instead of saying, I love that author, you say, that book's been on my list forever. Is it worth it? One sentence. Point it at them, and now they're talking, not because you were charming, because you made it about them before it was about you. and people feel that difference immediately. Skill 3. Ask one question and actually wait. Here's where most conversations die. Someone asks a question, and before the other person has even finished answering, they're already preparing the next one. Or worse, they answer it themselves. Do you live around here? I actually just moved to the area. It's been great. Now it's a monologue, and the other person is just waiting for their turn to leave. The skill is brutally simple. Ask one question, then stop completely. Let the silence after their answer exist for a full beat before you respond. You ask someone how they ended up in their job. They give you a short answer. Most people jump in immediately with their own story. Instead, you pause. You let it land. Then you say, "That's not the path I expected. What made you stay?" And suddenly they're telling you something they haven't told most people. Not because you're a great interviewer, because you gave their answer enough space to mean something. Chicago researchers studying conversation quality found that participants who paused for at least 3 seconds before responding were rated significantly more attentive and trustworthy, even when the content of their responses was identical. It wasn't what they said, it was the space they gave before saying it. You don't have to say anything brilliant, you just have to make them feel like what they said was worth sitting with. Skill 4. Give them an easy exit and watch them stay. If you can't start conversations, it's not because you're awkward. It's because you're protecting your ego. And once a conversation is running, most people cling to it. They overextend. They fill pauses. They keep talking because stopping feels like rejection. Same fear, different moment. The most attractive thing you can do mid-conversation is signal that you don't need it to continue. A simple line like, "I'll let you get back to it, but it was good talking to you." And something surprising happens. Most people want to stay. You're 20 minutes into a conversation at a party. It's starting to wind down. You can feel it. Instead of pushing, you say, "I should probably let you mingle, but honestly, this was one of the better conversations I've had tonight." They pause. "No, stay. I want to hear what you were saying earlier." You gave them the exit. They didn't take it because you showed you didn't need them to stay, and that made them want to. The less you need the interaction to continue, the more the other person wants it to. That's not a conversation trick. That's self-containment applied. Here's what ties all four together. Every one of these moves reduces pressure, yours and theirs. You're not trying to impress. You're not trying to be clever. You're not trying to make them like you. You're just creating a small opening and letting them decide what to do with it. That absence of pressure, that quiet, unperformed ease, is what people call natural. It's not a personality trait. It's what happens when someone stops treating conversation like a test they could fail. Remember that person from the beginning, across the room. That moment was never about words. It was about pressure. And pressure is a skill problem, not a personality one. You now have 4 ways to lower it. Use one of them this week, just one. Walk up to someone and say something, not because it's perfect, but because you stopped needing it to be. That's not confidence, that's freedom. And if you want to go deeper, in the next video, I'm breaking down the 4 phrases that instantly make people trust you. Subscribe so you don't miss it.